In English. Aguante.
You done?
Huh?
Okay, good morning. I'm going to present to you
Morning.
this paper that is called Problem Sensing Coverage of Marine Sensor Network by employing mobile robots. This is a paper of 2007. Okay, we are going to see we are going to start to do a brief summary of the paper. In this paper, the authors propose a mechanism to provide a proper coverage of a network. Okay? Maybe there is a group of sensors that is disconnected from the network, and the idea is to connect these sensors to the other sensors and provide a properly coverage in the network. So the idea in this is to use some of the sensors in the network, incorporate mobility in these sensors, and the sensor can move to repair certain broken areas. Okay. So they also propose they select a technique that is called party-to-swarm optimization, and this technique have several drawbacks that they solve them to adding several operators of other technique that is called an algorithm, genetic algorithm. So finally, they present simulator experiments that prove that the proposal is better that to don't have a sensor that can move. So we are going to do a critique of the different sections of the paper. In the abstract, the authors highlight the problems of traditional static sensor networks. They show that it's a drawback to have on a static network because we can't provide a properly coverage in there. So they give an introduction of the proposal, and they shows the gap of the proposal and show the advantage of introduce their proposal. So in the introduction, they highlight the importance of the wireless sensor network. They present the disadvantage of the static networks. And they mention that there are other works that use mobile sensors, but they don't put reference in this part. Okay. They also mention that these other works to know the relative position of the sensors. There is a lot of ways of energy consumption, but in the paper that in the proposal of the authors, this is not clear. They don't talk about if the proposal weighs a lot or allow energy in the proposal. Okay? So, in addition, in the introduction, there is not a general overview of the future section of the paper. So at the final of the introduction, they don't add this. So maybe this is a recommendation about this part. This is a disadvantage in the paper that they doesn't have a related work section, and it's important because we have to know the others' works in order to know the relevance of the proposal. Okay. So they propose they mention the traditional a traditional technique that is called party-to-swarm optimization. They introduce general downlights. They explain the different function of this technique, and they present the different drawbacks of this technique. The main drawback is that these techniques have a premature convergence.
Yeah.
So they because of these drawbacks, they add some operators of older technique that is called generic algorithm. They mix these two techniques, and the final technique is called particle store genetic optimization. Okay? They present supporting ideas and different argumentation to improve the traditional technique that is PHO. So they use in their proposal, they use typical rates for mutation and selection. They do assumption that is needed in other works, I find. In the results, they show, for example, figure that compare they shows a result where the coverage is improved comparing with a static network. Okay. So in conclusion, the proposed algorithm is very interesting and well formulated, but the lack of related works cause that the paper looks a little bit weak. Okay. So for this reason, the main recommendation is to add a related workstation.
Okay.